Afternoon, peeps. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. What's going on with Dillian Whyte? Anyone know? That's a question, by the way. I'm not about to give you any special insights. If you know, please let me know. Because I was just thinking about Dillian Whyte and the fact that we've not heard anything. No rumored opponents, no dates, nothing. The only thing we've heard with regards to Dillian Whyte in the last few months is that he's likely to fight Anthony Joshua in the summer. That's it. Surely it isn't a case of him sitting out into the summer. Surely not. I mean, there are opponents out there that are good fights, big fights as well. Like right now, Andy Ruiz is kind of free. Like Andy Ruiz is free. That's a big fight. That one, I mean, is Otto Volin, which isn't as big a fight, but it's a fight that was supposed to happen, about a year ago. That's there. Hrgovic is there. There's big fights for Dillian Whyte. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can understand how if you're Dillian Whyte and you have maybe been promised the AJ fight in the summer, then taking on any one of those guys I just mentioned is risky, but you can't just sit it out. I mean, that's not how it works, right? I mean, or is it? I don't know nowadays. Look, this Fury-Usyk thing's annoying me as well, like big time. Yesterday I did a video on it. We got a bit more information. Usyk's manager was on the White and Jordan show on TalkSport. And what did they say? They said that they offered offered Team Fury a 60-40 split to the winner of the fight, or I think that's what it was, which has been declined. So I don't know. I mean, I've gone from, as I said yesterday, I've gone from thinking this fight will definitely happen to now thinking this fight ain't happening because everyone involved is a bit too greedy. That's kind of what it is, you know. Everyone's greedy in this. I mean, people might blame Tyson Fury and some might say, what about Usyk? And everyone just wants more money. So, yeah, it looks like we're not going to get the undisputed heavyweight title fight unless some people start to maybe think with a bit more common sense. Like, it's funny because we're not talking... I mean, you're going to get paid millions. And look, I get it, right? I mean, get your worth is something I always speak about on this channel, but you're going to get paid millions. Millions. Just fight. I know it's not that simple, but sometimes like boxing just is so frustrating. Like so frustrating. Like right now, like I saw a tweet from someone talk about, I think he was talking about British boxing. He was like, British boxing is the worst it's been for years. And a few sort of notable people underneath that tweet kind of said, yeah, I agree. And I've always said that it isn't that bad, but it's not great, is it? Like boxing in general. So not just British boxing, sort of boxing as a whole around the world. I like to try and make the best of a bad situation. Like the other day I was saying, but guys, I mean, we had Mark Messiah versus Brandon Figueroa. That's a good, no one gives a fuck about that. Now that's not going to attract more viewers. I mean, for me, it's great. I'll tune in and watch Mark Messiah versus Brandon Figueroa. Yo, how exciting. No one gives a fuck about that. Like, that isn't going to get more eyes on the sport, more bums on the seats. It isn't going to work. We need fucking A-level fights being made regularly. And I'm going to talk about the Tank Ryan fight in a minute. But we need at least one of those a month. At least one of those a month. So you need your big marquee pay-per-view Super Bowl event once a month, and then the other 3 weeks in the month or 4 weeks, you can have kind of your B-level seat. You can get those. And fans will accept that because we know at least once a month, we're going to get a fucking A-level fight. We don't get that anymore. We're just not getting that. It's just like a joke, isn't it? It's an absolute joke. I don't know what it is. I don't know, especially over here. Let me focus on over here because I don't understand how it works so well in America. But over here, there's just too many broadcasters. It's that simple. Too many broadcasters. Every fight card has been spread thin because the fact is we're a small island. Like people talk about sort of boxing over here. We're tiny. The UK is tiny. There aren't that many good boxers. And the ones that we have are being spread thin over 3 or 4 broadcasters. Like it's just not going to work. Like we just need it to be really on one broadcaster. That's all it really needs to be. And a few years ago, I know BT Sports were doing their thing, but a few years ago, it felt like all the best fighters were on Sky. I know BT had some, don't get me wrong, but it felt like Sky, Matchroom, like that's it, right? I mean, you know you're going to get decent cards because 90% of the top fighters are on there. So you can easily make fights sort of within each other in terms of just Sky fighter fighting Sky fighter, or sometimes you'd get an American over, but that's what it felt like. Now You've got Sky, you've got Queensbury, you've got DAZN, and then there are others. You've got Channel 5. It's like, what the heck? There aren't that many fighters to go round. There aren't that many, so we're just not getting it. We're not getting it. Fans aren't getting it at all. And look, as much as I blame the broadcasters, because again, we don't need 4, and there's more than that, by the way, but there's 4 big ones. We don't need that. Sometimes, like, I blame the fighters as well. Like, sometimes I blame the fighters. Like, you need to do more to push yourself. You need to do way more to promote yourself. You just have to. You just have to. No one knows who you are. No one knows who you guys are. I know who you are because I'm a boxing fan, but you're not trying to attract me. You're trying to attract the guy that's kind of, I watch a bit of boxing, mainly football, but, I dip my toes in, but you're trying to get him or her, and you're not doing enough. Like, you don't interact with your fans enough. You don't interact on social media. You do nothing. You expect a fight. You fight once every 5 months, and you do nothing in between that 5 months, and expect all of a sudden that fans are going to jump on to you because they see you once every 5 months. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You need to do way more, man. You've got to put yourself out there more. You have to. You can't rely on your promoter or Matchroom with a camera to knock on your door and start filming. You got to fucking film yourself. You got to do something. It's just like, what's going on? Like, mate, like you got to do more. Like, sometimes I think of like the biggest UFC stars, the two who are some of the biggest stars in the UFC. And by the way, I know world champions that I go onto their social media and they've not tweeted or put anything up on Instagram for months. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how are we supposed to how are fans supposed to interact with you and therefore want to buy your pay-per-view or watch your fight when they've not even heard of you for months because you just vanish? But I know, anyway, back to it. I know UFC stars right now. Israel Adesanya, big UFC guy, has just started making 7 figures, right? Former UFC middleweight champion. He's got a YouTube channel, puts out content after content after content. Go and check it out. Does big numbers. Doesn't need to do it. Israel's making good money in the UFC, sponsored by Puma. He's doing well. But he's like, I need to give the fans back a bit more. So when I do announce a fight, because I only fight once every 4 or 5 months, they've been with me. They've been with me on the journey because they're seeing me fight. They're seeing me do all this other stuff I do on my YouTube. Who is the biggest star in UFC history? Conor McGregor's the answer. Don't think about it. He tweets and puts stuff on his Instagram every fucking day. Guy doesn't need to. Guy's worth 300 million. Does it to interact with fans. So he's not forgotten. Out of sight, out of mind. No. Conor's tweeting every single day. And you've got boxers that are like 15-0 boxers. They ain't doing anything. Like, you telling me your record's 15-0, 15 knockouts ain't enough. Ain't enough. We need more. We need way more from you. What are you doing? What are you doing? And you guys, some of you guys like to blame the Misfits guys, which is a joke. Oh, YouTube boxing's to blame. It ain't to blame. The YouTube boxers, what I've seen? I'm ringside at these events and I look and sometimes I'm like, man, why can't real boxing be a bit like this? Like, one thing I've noticed, the biggest difference is that the YouTube boxing scene, because real boxing has been sleepwalking into bullshit for the last 10 years, it's almost like the YouTube boxing scene has taken the fan base that real boxing should have and they've taken it. So that's that like the 15 to the 23-year-olds. They've got all of that. They swallowed that up. And real boxing missed that. It missed that. I go to these, obviously I'm at all these boxing events and the average age there is a lot older. It's a lot older. Boxing missed out on that age demographic. They've missed it because they're now following these YouTube guys because the YouTube guys put out content every single day. Anyway, not enough of a rant. I'm a bit tired of it all. But yeah, I think boxing's in a weird space. It really is. Again, we're not getting these Super Bowl events. We're not getting them. We're not getting them. How long have I been asking like I'm the sheriff in town? But how long have I been saying, Buatsi Yard, give us Buatsi Yard, big fight, right? Tick all the boxes. Not getting it. How long have we been saying that? But honestly, it must be like 5 years now. Can we see Buatsi Yard, please? A big domestic dust up. Can we see it? Ain't getting it. Boxing likes to feed us crumbs. Anyway, let's talk about Tank Ryan. Press conference was yesterday. Big fight. Big fight. Right now, probably the biggest fight that we're going to see this year. Because, again, it doesn't look like we're going to see Usyk versus Fury. But it's been a long time that I've been like, I'm excited for most fights, right? I was excited for Yar Baturbi. I was excited for Eubank Smith. I was certainly excited for Lara Wood. But this is a whole nother level. This is what you need. And even Ryan Garcia said, like, this will be a good test to see where boxing is right now. Because everyone says, like, boxing's dead and boxing's struggling. Here we go now. This is it. You got two top of the level stars, right? I'm not going to say fighters yet. They are still, but neither of these two are in the top 10 pound for pound, but two stars. If this doesn't do big numbers, then we have a problem. If this fight doesn't do big numbers, then there is a bit of a problem going on. Because this is it, right? This is the one that everyone's been asking for. Two polar opposites, two different fan bases. Surely this tips close to 1 million. Surely it does. Like, the biggest fight of the year can't be Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. It can't be. Like, surely this gets it. And I like it. What I found interesting, though, and look, Gervonta clearly has a lot of respect for Garcia. First of all, fight at 136, that benefits Tank all day long. Remember, this is a Tank that did go up to 140 and fight Barrios. I interviewed Ryan. I did his last fight and I said, look, what's your next fight? He said 100% 140. So clearly he wanted to go 140. Tank was like, no. Let's drain this guy a little bit. And then Ryan was speaking to Luke Thomas yesterday. This is pre-press conference because obviously Tank turned up late. And he said they've even put a 10-pound rehydration clause on him. Now, I don't know if surely it isn't a case of he walks into the ring at 146. I think it's the morning of the fight. He can't be more than 146. But it shows the respect that Tank does have for Ryan. But look, this is a big one. There's a couple of things that interested me about the press conference. Mayweather Promotions was mentioned. Leonard Ellaby, who looked a bit different with the beard, walked up to the center of the stage and spoke. And I was like, I thought Tank had done with Mayweather Promotions. I thought that was done. Maybe this is their last sort of deal then, because I thought Tank was going alone. He told us that, actually, didn't he, a few months back. And another thing that surprised me was I saw DAZN in the background, very small. And I was thinking, if you're DAZN, and DAZN have got the rights for this in certain territories, obviously the big one they don't, which is America, but I think they've got the Canadian rights and something else. I think the UK rights as well. But if you're DAZN, I mean, yes, it's good to see DAZN working with these other broadcasters and promoters, and if a fighter goes, let them go and earn. But there must be a point where it's like, man, we can't build up these fighters like they did with Devin Haney, and then he leaves and fights Kambosos, and all of a sudden his stock's now through the roof. And now Ryan Garcia fighting, literally, I mean, in America, no one is going to know anything about DAZN and this fight. It's going to be all about Showtime. Surely there has to be a stage where it's like, we can't let this continue. Like, we can't have these young stars that fight on our platform, and then all of a sudden they want to make the biggest fights of their life, and to make that fight happen, they then leave our platform. It can't continue, surely not. Like, anyway, just my thought on it. But look, really looking forward to it. Again, I think I mentioned to you guys that I will be out there April 22nd, doing some bits for DAZN, so I'm very, very excited to be out there for it. It's a big one. It's a big one. I don't know who to. I've said for the last sort of couple of months that I think Tank gets to him, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm slowly but surely starting to lean towards Garcia, but it's a big fight, and let's hope that we get more. Like, we get more. And again, understand what I'm saying when I say we need one a month. I'm talking your big ones, like your ones that just generate so much interest, not just for hardcore boxing fans, but for casual boxing fans as well. We need a couple of those. Sorry, we need one of those a month. We do. We just need one a month. If we don't get it, the sport continues to crumble. And I'm telling you now, like, I think boxing's in a weird place, because boxing has the ability to help itself and to clean itself up just like that, right? I mean, you make some certain fights and that's it. People are back in. AJ Fury, like, we might, when it's all said and done, not get AJ Fury. Think about that for a second. And this isn't like people of my age group will maybe compare it to Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. Ain't that at all. I mean, Riddick Bowe was an American fighter, Lennox Lewis, Canadian, Britain. This is two Brits, same age group, both world champions, former, current, in Fury's case, was former, now current as well. How can that fight not happen? Boxing. Like, try and explain, it's funny is when you try and explain to someone that isn't, how many people actually say, Ade, man, what's going on with AJ Fury? And for me to then try and explain, different broadcasters, promoters don't really get on. I'm like, I don't know. Most times I'm like, I don't know. Because I can't even trying to explain to them how this all works. They don't care about all that. We do. We get involved in it. We see all the stuff, but they don't care about that. So yeah, look, I think boxing needs big fights, and hopefully we get them, because right now, I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking, even for me, Inoue Fulton, big fight. Do you fucking think casual fans, do you think, real talk, do you think casual boxing fans give a shit about that? I do. I think it's a massive fight, that one. Really good fight. Fantastic. 50-50 scrap. Do you think casual boxing fans care about that? They don't care about that. Honestly, they don't care about that. They care about, I don't know, Crawford Spence. That's what they care about. I'm telling you now. They would have cared about Ben Eubank. These are the fights that I'm talking about. AJ Wilder. These are the ones they want. They want this. Over here, Joe Joyce Fury. These are the fights they want. Fury-Usyk. You know what I mean? These are the ones. Yard Boatsi. Maybe Bivol Beterbiev. These are the kind of fights. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. Kambosos. Hunger is still there to be the best. Defeat isn't worst thing in the world. No, it wasn't. I actually liked Kambosos in the lead up and in the aftermath of this fight. I thought he done so well. He put himself out there. He was on the Joe Rogan show. He really pushed himself. That's what I'm talking about. Someone like Kambosos, got the biggest win of his life away from home. And then it wasn't a case of rest on your laurels and, I'm going to go back home and we're going to fill out an arena. No. I'm going to finish the fight and then I'm going to start promoting the shit out of myself and go everywhere. He did that. So when he did get back home and then put on the fight, big numbers. And think about this. The first fight was big numbers. He lost the first fight easily. Second fight, because of the star superpower that he built up, second fight was quite big as well. Got to work on yourself, man. Joshua on Jermaine Franklin. In terms of talent, you can't deny the man. Popularity doesn't win fights. I actually don't know how much talent Jermaine Franklin has, if I'm honest with you. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I think we saw a little bit against Dillian Whyte, but I thought Dillian Whyte was awful that night, really, really bad. But I'm going to give Dillian Whyte I'm going to give him a break just because it was Buddy McGirt, it was new training setup. It looked like he was trying to do new things in there, but he was bad. So I don't know if it's a case of Franklin was good or Dillian Whyte was just so bad. I'm kind of going Dillian Whyte was so bad, but we'll see. Tim Tszyu Harrison this weekend. Another one that's this weekend as well is Dan Aziz is this weekend. Tony Yoka taking on Carlos Takam is this weekend. I feel like I should be having this show fucking sponsored by Boxer and all the other organizations. They don't promote their stuff, do they? Jesus Christ, man. All right, anyway, we're done.